Here's your WNEM TV5 News Update.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Meg McLeod. Here's a quick look at some of our stories tonight. Next Year Automotive confirms layoffs at 2 Michigan sites, including Saginaw County's Buena Vista Township. The company says 80 jobs will be affected between the Global Technical Center in Buena Vista and Auburn Hills. It says the move will help align its business with current demand and future expectations, and that the employees will receive separation packages. According to Saginaw Future, Next Year employs at least 3,800 people at its Buena Vista plant. The company says it employs just over 6,100 workers across North America. A bill that would require schools to limit cell phone use in school will go to the State House for a vote. It passed the House Education and Workforce Committee this morning. It would require elementary and middle schools to ban students from having a phone while in school. High school students wouldn't be able to use their phone during class. There are several exemptions, including allowing phones for medical use and teaching purposes. The previously reported second case of measles in Ingham County turned out to be a false positive. That case was first reported by the county health department in April in a 1-year-old boy. The baby had been exposed to a confirmed case of measles, but was recently vaccinated against the virus. The health department says follow-up testing confirmed it was a false positive caused by the vaccine. The Michigan Department of Health and Human Services says it brings down the state's confirmed cases to 8. Now here's Chris with your first alert forecast.
We've got some scattered showers and a few thunderstorms passing through early tonight. None of these are expected to be severe, but some downpours and some occasional cloud to ground lightning will be possible. Our attention as we head into tomorrow will be on the severe threat for Thursday evening. So we're breaking this down into a couple of categories. What is likely, what is possible, and what is uncertain. Thunderstorms are likely between 10 o'clock and 3 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. The short duration threat means fast moving storms, and we do not expect them to hang out in one area for an extended period of time. What is possible? Damaging wind, large hail, and a low tornado threat. We do expect also the possibility of a few isolated afternoon or early evening rain showers or an isolated thunderstorm. However, most will be dry. What is uncertain with this threat is we expect a higher likelihood of severe weather to our west. The question is, well, will they survive with their intensity into the TV5 viewing area, or are we looking at just general thunderstorms? So we do expect the morning to be really dry. There could be some areas of fog, and some of those could be locally dense, but otherwise no issues at all. Noon through the early evening, we expect most bus stops and plans to be dry. So at this time, not necessary to cancel anything. And then late tomorrow night is when that severe threat moves in, the primary time frame between 10 and 3 o'clock in the morning. We're still under the slight risk, but that enhanced risk is just to our west and even cuts through parts of Isabella and Gratiot counties. We expect, again, most of the day to be dry tomorrow, but there will be some fog as we go through the early morning hours. Notice by the afternoon, we're mostly dry. We're mostly dry at 4 o'clock, and even at 7 and 8, we are dry as well. But it looks like as we get closer to 9 and 10 o'clock, we'll start to see storms approaching US 127. But also notice as they move to the east, at least on this model, you can see what we mean by holding their intensity. Some of the northern parts of that line seem to diminish quite a bit. This doesn't necessarily mean it's a guarantee that's going to happen, but I think it speaks to some of the concerns we have with our severe weather threat. And then those storms move off to the east as we go into the latter half of the night. So your severe hail outlook for tomorrow shows that there is a higher chance than normal for some significant hail. That is mostly in West Michigan, where you see those black dashes through the red area. That's what we call a hatched area, which means there's a more significant threat than normal. And then the same is true for our severe wind outlook, where the threat is biggest on the west side of the state, but this does not have a hatched area, meaning that we expect largely standard severe level winds. And then on our tornado outlook, that is a low risk for our area too, but just to the west of us, it appears there's a higher risk, so we're watching that pretty closely. As we take a look at your forecast for the next 7 days, we expect highs to be in the 80s for tomorrow, and also on Friday, a big cool down on the way as we head towards the weekend, but we also start drying out into Sunday and Monday.
Remember to tune into WNEM TV5 on air and online 24/7 for the latest news, weather, and information.